Hey, all. It's Jay, your vibe coach. Welcome back to the Divine Frequency. Thanks for listening. I appreciate all of you. I've been under the weather, so it's been a minute since I've put out an episode, but I'm being led to really do this episode. It's actually something I'm pretty passionate about, and I've made a lot of notes, so this might be long-winded. We'll see. But first, I want to show some gratitude to everybody that's come back to listen to my show. If you've shared this show with somebody that needs it or somebody that you think needs it, I appreciate that. Let's keep getting it out there and circulating it. It's starting to grow and get some attention. So I'm feeling good about that. I feel like, we might be on to something. We might be making some changes out there. In 33 states across the United States so far, 18 different countries, over 300 downloads. I'm really, really humbled and so grateful. You have no idea. So before I get emotional, let's move along. I'm a Cancer, so you know how we get. But I want to talk about how everywhere we turn right now, we're shown reasons why we should be afraid, why we should live in fear, creating a culture of staying afraid instead of creating environments for each other to feel safe or for that matter, to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to make decisions based on survival. I know that one. Showing humility, grace, really embodying the phrase fear not, which is the most said verse in the Bible, by the way. The environment's so full of judgment and labels and choosing sides, it leaves no space or energy to allow for one to feel safe and vulnerable. We're putting pressures on one another to just get it right the first time, or just already know what's supposed to happen, expecting instant intelligence. Sound familiar? Openly admitting our mistakes and when we don't have the answer to a question is okay. It's normal. Normalize saying, I don't know. Let's find out. Remove some pressure. Embracing saying I was wrong when we make a mistake. Admitting it openly. Creating an environment for that. It shows that mistakes are part of the learning process, not signs of incompetence. Shifting focus from blame to learning. Asking questions like what, not who. When mistakes happen, focus on what can be learned rather than searching for someone to blame. That's like one of my biggest pet peeves, is when people waste energy on finding out or trying to find out whose fault it is, rather than using that energy on trying to find a solution or figuring out what the lesson might be. It comes down to, you ready for this big word? Psychological safety. Creating a safe space where it's acceptable to be wrong and admit that you don't know something. A shared belief that we won't be penalized, ridiculed, or humiliated for speaking up, admitting mistakes, or asking for help. We need to foster a culture of curiosity and learning rather than blame, which really will boost innovation, collaboration, and performance for all of us. It's a win. But we're being led by the media and society right now to live in a state of fear. They're trying to get us to feel like speaking up is not okay. It's not normal, which in fact it is. And as leaders, we need to start by admitting our own mistakes, openly sharing our errors and our uncertainties, and then what we've learned from them, showing that perfection's not required, and normalize saying, I don't know, as a leader. Let's find out together. It removes that stigma of needing all the answers and encourages curiosity. Let's learn together. Encouraging a growth mindset, an open dialogue, and inclusion. And also important, active listening. Creating a space where everyone can finish their thoughts without interruption, ensuring that all perspectives are heard. That's a hard one. That's really one that I myself work on daily because, I'm so passionate and I want to, help so much that I get ahead of it. I need to slow down and really just actively listen to understand and not to respond. Use I statements, avoids accusations, and focuses on one's own understanding or perspective. Psychologically safe environments that can be uncomfortable because they encourage honest, sometimes tough conversations. Encouraging dissent and challenging ideas without fear of retribution, not avoiding conflict altogether. Psychological safety, one will not be punished or humiliated for speaking up with ideas, questions, concerns, mistakes. Removing some of the anxiety about being basically accepted and worthwhile. The thing is, we can't gift this to somebody. You can't gift psychological safety to a team or a room of individuals. Psychological safety is earned, and it can be lost in an instant. It's built from hundreds of small actions and moments of care, especially in the workplace. No one wants to feel ignorant, incompetent, intrusive, or negative. So we use our innate skill of impression management. We don't ask questions, so we don't seem ignorant. We never show weakness, so we don't look incompetent. And we don't offer ideas, so we don't look intrusive. And we never, ever, ever critique the status quo, because that way lies negativity. And when in fact, those are the exact behaviors that we need. Questioning, vulnerability, idea sharing, constructive critique. Otherwise, all we're left with is a polite echo of chambers full of fixed, fake grins and innovation flatlines. Remember when I talked about practicing who you want to be? The best way to experience psychological safety is to act as if you already have it. Be the one willing to go first. You need to be what you want to see in that room. Someone needs to go first. When a leader admits misjudging the timing or asks, "What am I missing?" it creates small ripples. These acts are tiny but seismic, and they prove that honesty isn't a career-limiting move. If you want people to share mistakes, you need to speak up and make space and ask them. Leave the space open with multiple ways of speaking up. Show vulnerability. And yes, you go first. It doesn't have to be showy. Vulnerability is just a real honest moment shared with humble authenticity. A quote from Ernest Hemingway: "The best way to find out if you can trust somebody is to trust them." Let me say that again. The best way to find out if you can trust somebody is to trust them. You can't command bravery. You have to create the conditions for it. Share a time that you got something wrong and ask others to share theirs. Ask reflecting questions like, what's the one thing you didn't say today? Or what helped you speak up? Let's call them brave spaces, not safe spaces. Balancing challenge with care. Bravery is easier when the environment proves through action that the risks are shared. Thanking someone for challenging your idea. In a world faced with AI and systemic complexity, we need collective intelligence, diverse perspectives, willing to collide and recombine without psychological safety. Diversity stays silent. Hold space with care, not control, and invite discomfort without humiliation. Avoid micromanaging, admit your mistakes, share what you learned from a mistake with somebody. Praise people for admitting their mistakes. Celebrate your failures as well as successes and learn from them both. And normalize saying I don't know. Practice active listening. Ask for different perspectives and viewpoints. Show humility, vulnerability. Meditate, breathe, journal. All of these things. Most importantly, take care of yourself and take care of each other.